I was hoping that I would not have to make this video. Yeah, some crazy stuff happened over the holidays, over that period of time. And I was sort of missing in action. Bandwidth through 2023, towards the end especially, became really low. And so I took the time that I needed over the holidays to sort of recharge and refocus myself for 2024's content. During that time, we as an industry experienced something that I can only say is best defined as true government overreach. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I am, of course, alluding to the federal ban of Chinese drone technology for use in federally funded projects. This is going to have ripple effects through the industry that have not yet been seen by people on the outside. I'm talking about our representatives, our legislatures, and the leadership in the United States. There are a lot of people in the drone industry that are well aware of the ripple effect this is going to have. Some of them have an overly optimistic outlook of it. Others have a very real look at what's going to happen here in the drone industry. So I'm not going to waste any more time on this intro. Let's go ahead, let's just get into it. Let's talk drones. What's up? It's Chris the Drone Geek. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Drones. Let's Talk Drones is brought to you by The Droning Company, the #1 online resource for commercial remote pilots based in the United States. Make sure you check them out online if you've got your Part 107 at thedroningcompany.com and across all major social media platforms. I want to apologize in advance for the melancholic and serious tone that this video is going to take. It's not going to be a super long video, but it's going to be very serious and very matter of fact here. I love the drone industry. I am honored to be a part of this industry every single day because I find what drones are capable of to be absolute magic. It is a magical time to be in this industry because everything's evolving so rapidly and we're finding out new ways that drones can be used each and every day. It's so much fun, so exciting to be a part of. But there are days like today and videos like this video that bring you back down to earth a little bit. And they remind you that there's a lot of fighting that's going to need to be done in order to preserve not just the progress of the industry, but our fulfillment and enjoyment in it. Over the course of December into January 2023, transitioning into 2024, the federal government passed legislation that would ban the use of Chinese drone technology for federally funded projects. Now, this doesn't go into effect until 2026, so there are 2 years left for folks that have federally funded projects that they're working on with drone technology made by any type of Chinese drone manufacturer where they will be unaffected. But starting 2026, that will no longer be the case, and you will need to only use Blue UAS, American-made, American-friendly drones for USA federally funded projects. Now, I just want to get this out of the way. I am not anti-America. In fact, I love this country. I am so lucky to be born here because this is unequivocally, and I don't care where you're from, what you say, where we rank in whatever poll, the United States of America is the greatest country on the face of the earth, period, end of story. I've visited other countries. I've had the opportunity to see and experience other cultures, and nothing beats this one. Not in my mind anyway. That's subjective though. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. What I want to say is that despite the fact we are in a great country, the greatest in my opinion, we still have a lot of flaws, and this is one of them. Government overreach is a problem in a lot of areas. Now, I also want to address this. I am not somebody that is anarchist. I'm not somebody that's even libertarian. I don't think that the answer to all of America's problems is to minimize government to as little influence as possible. We need government officials, effective government officials, to enact laws and rules that keep us safe, allow us to be a society that can make the world a better place, and give as many of our citizens opportunities as humanly possible. So, that said though, there are a lot of areas where the government reaches too far in and actually impedes progress that industries and individuals are making, and this is one of those cases. There was a common misconception when this law was passed that this would only affect agencies that are funded or receive partial funding from the federal government and folks that fly drones that are hired directly by the federal government to do those jobs. That is not quite the case. Yes, that part is true, but the ripple effect that this law has is going to reach into so many areas of the private sector. This is going to set us back. I'm not shocked if this is your first time hearing about this passing of this law. In fact, I'm more shocked that people like me didn't do more to get the word out to you. I did make a video a while back when this legislation was put on the table and sort of addressed what kind of problems this would pose for society, the industry. There's multiple layers to that. If you'd like to check that video out, it is up in this corner I've established, or I look like a complete idiot and it's over in this corner, but I believe it's over in this corner. Go ahead and check that out to see what you might have missed out on. But regardless of the fact I made that video, it's too late. It's too late. This law has been passed. So what other repercussions do we face here? It's not just losing out on opportunities as a private pilot using DJI, Autel, or any other Chinese manufacturer. I'm hard pressed to think of a Chinese manufacturer that you could use for a federal job. Really, the two big fish in this pond are DJI and Autel, both of which are Chinese-based drone manufacturers. What this is going to do to the industry is not only limit opportunities for drone pilots to do their job effectively, because it's subjective, but it's not at the same time. DJI and Autel are the best in the game right now. There's really not a lot of argument to be made about any other company. The only one that comes to mind is Skydio. And even there, the gap between Skydio and Autel even is really wide. It's very, very wide. The fact is, there is nobody else in the game that does it like those two companies, whether you like it or not. So taking them out of the equation not only, like I said, limits opportunities for folks that purchase those drones and technology from those companies to do their jobs, it also sets the industry back. And here's why. Taking them out of the industry in the United States now creates a power vacuum. We don't have those two drone manufacturers making drones or being able to provide drones for people doing work that is federally funded here in the US, which is a large portion of the market at this point. What happens then? There's nobody to step up. There's nobody. If you think about it purely from a manufacturing standpoint, there is absolutely zero scenario where somebody's ready to step up right now and fill that void and do it in a cost-effective manner. I recently had a conversation with John McBride, who, if you don't know, is known as Drone Jesus in the industry. John is a former employee of Autel Robotics. When I had my conversation with him, I learned a little bit more about John in terms of his experience in the industry. Not only did he most recently work for Autel Robotics, he also worked for DJI at one point, and he told me about how big the manufacturing facilities and how efficient the manufacturing process is for both of those companies. One of the things that John shared with me during that conversation was his experience while at DJI after they announced the DJI Mavic Pro, the OG, the Mavic 1. And when they announced that drone, DJI received 300,000 orders for the Mavic Pro overnight. It was one day. They received 300,000 orders. Think about how many parts that is. That's 300,000 gimbal assemblies, 300,000 cameras, 300,000 fuselages. You've got 1.2 million, I think the math is right on that, motors that needed to be made for the drones, because there's 4 motors to a Mavic Pro. The point is, they had an astronomical amount of work that needed to be done, and what they were able to do was accommodate it. They were able to implement a manufacturing process that was able to turn around 300,000 drones in a very short period of time. There is nobody in the United States, and you can check me on this, that is capable of that right now. DJI and Autel are the only two companies that are able to manufacture drones of that level that quickly. And now they're on their way out. Now, I don't mean to scare you too much. You're still able to buy DJI and Autel as a consumer. You're still able to buy them as a Part 107 pilot and use them commercially. Your ability to use them for federal and federally funded projects has now been eliminated as of 2026. So, without getting too long-winded about this particular topic, I want to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. I've included links down below in the description of this video that I've already taken advantage of myself, and that I encourage you to take advantage of yourself. These links will take you to websites that will outline who your representatives are on a state and federal level, and those are the people that you really need to be barking at about this, because if you don't make your voice heard, if you don't let people know, the people that are elected to represent you, that this is going to have a giant, significant, and negative impact on not just the industry, but the citizens that are putting all of their blood, sweat, and tears into that industry, this stuff is going to continue to happen. And if you don't believe me about that, just search Huawei, because it's happened to consumer tech. And I'm telling you right now, if the Chinese paranoia continues to be where it's at, this is the direction that we're headed. I don't mean to be hyperbolic, but the fact of the matter is we didn't do enough. And now we have a law in place that bans the use of DJI and Autel for federally funded projects. And I don't know if you know this either, but once something becomes law, it is very, very difficult to undo that law. So we are in a position now to make our voices heard, to react to the news that we've gotten about the federal ban on DJI, Autel, and all Chinese drone technology. I don't mean to keep lecturing. I know that this might not be specifically your fault if you're watching this. You may have done everything that you could to this point, but there are hundreds of thousands of Part 107 pilots out there, and even more recreational pilots that did not act. And those are the people that I'm talking to. Let's get something done here. Let's protect this industry and make sure that we all have the chance to not only enjoy making money from drones, but just being able to enjoy the hobby at the highest level possible. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up icon. And it's not necessarily to help me, although that is a benefit to me, but it's to get the word out to more people, because the more you like this video, the more it gets out into the algorithm, and YouTube continues to recommend it to viewers like yourself, meaning more drone pilots get to see what I'm talking about. If you really like this video, you love drone content made by drones, about drones, and for drone pilots, this is the channel for you. Might not be around much longer if all these bans continue to go into place. So I encourage you to subscribe now and take in as much as you possibly can. And if you want to be notified every time I post a new video, hit the bell icon while you're at it too. Until next time, I'm Chris, the Drone Geek, and I'm out of here. See ya.